in an uncertain time.
Well, if the government had enough money, it wouldn't be in debt. It could help everybody.
There is certainty.
If I didn't have to pay so much in taxes, I'd be able to hire more employees.
When values are lost,
if I didn't have to work so long, I could spend more time with my kids.
there is value. What if there would be enough money for everyone?
If there was enough money, I would take a vacation.
Go back to school.
Restore my family. Stop worrying all the time.
I get that operation that I need.
I would help everyone in the world.
What if you could bail out the government?
That would be something.
What if you could stabilize the economy?
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
What if you could end poverty?
Man, this would be great.
A gift for the world.
Enough money is on the way.
If we all work together, we can make it happen.
DotMoney. Register and get the book today. www.dotmoney.cash. Also available at Amazon and other bookstores.
What is DotMoney? DotMoney is a new and powerful global community currency. The community that is served by DotMoney is all peace-loving people around the world who want to end global economic instability and who are tired of living under the threat of currency devaluations and unstable financial and investment markets. The community served by DotMoney are those people who want to reduce or eliminate taxes, help to keep their governments, businesses, citizens, and economies from going bankrupt, and who want to provide a basic subsistence-level income for all other peace-loving people in the world in order to end poverty and improve the overall health and welfare of all people around the world. Now, this is inclusive of the rich and poor and doesn't take anything from anyone. The community of those served by DotMoney are those who are in favor of implementing a new age of monetary policy and global financial prosperity, where people do not exist as slaves to money, but where money is a tool that is of benefit to all people, businesses, and government without any burdens being placed on any government, business, or group of people. Now, some refer to DotMoney as Star Trek economics, but DotMoney is really a long overdue medium for exchange. DotMoney is a powerful private sector solution created by people around the world that will provide every peaceful person in the world with a monthly minimum living allowance, help to solve the problems of poverty, global economic instability, onerous taxation, the solvency of governments, and inefficient welfare programs. DotMoney is a real-world implementation of the ideas put forth in the 2014 book DotMoney by Eric Majors, www.dotmoneybook.com, that are supported by many people around the world from all walks of life. DotMoney is a new kind of virtual currency that builds on the successful features of Bitcoin and community currencies like the Brixton Pound, but with an expanded set of capabilities and features that are specifically designed to help solve the major problems in the world. Now, this includes helping to provide every peaceful person in the world with a minimum monthly income that enables them to maintain a minimum standard of living and strongly stimulate the economy. DotMoney is specifically designed to help reduce poverty, lower taxes, possibly eliminate the need for taxes, help support the value of all of the currencies of the world, create a stronger and more stable global economy, provide for security against man-made and natural disasters, and provide for the pursuit of health, happiness, and the general welfare of all of the peaceful people of the world. The technologies and regulations associated with DotMoney are being created in association with and to serve individuals, businesses, banks, and governments of all sizes around the world. The Global Currency Reserve, GCR. The primary administrator of DotMoney is the Global Currency Reserve, GCR, and thus the names DotMoney and the Global Currency Reserve, GCR, can be used interchangeably. The plan of the Global Currency Reserve and DotMoney is to provide every peaceful person in the world with the minimum income necessary to pay for food and lodging and to help cover the cost of medical care, education, transportation, and communication without taking anything from business, government, or anyone else, without redistribution of wealth or trying to make everyone financially equal. DotMoney does not take from the rich to give to the poor or derive its resources from government budgets to achieve its goals. DotMoney's unique business plan does not take any money from anyone, but rather DotMoney adds a critical safety net for everyone in the world and their respective governments. DotMoney allows people who have the good fortune of financial success to keep their earnings while supporting those who find themselves in financial distress for any reason. Healthy, well-funded consumers make for a healthy economy, thereby increasing the health and welfare of the entire population of the world. The power of DotMoney resides in the people who support DotMoney, who convert to DotMoney and insist on transacting in DotMoney in order to promote the values and goals of DotMoney to create a better, more stable world. What are the units of DotMoney? 1 unit of DotMoney is called 1 dot, which is not created and backed by debt, but is created and valued based on the value of the exchange of tangible capital and human willpower, and, more specifically, by the desire to use DotMoney in exchange for goods and services, in support of a stable global economy and the health and welfare of all people in the world. Now, you can think of the value of 1 dot as equal to the purchasing power of $1 on December 1st of 2014. DotMoney's unique features and business plan allows for the exchange of DotMoney to and from various currencies around the world within tightly fixed exchange rates determined by the Global Currency Reserve, GCR, which is the primary global liquidity provider for DotMoney. The GCR works with governments, businesses, and banks in their respective territories in order to help establish the boundaries for fixed rates of exchange between DotMoney and every GCR-eligible currency that will effectively be supported by the market-making activity of the GCR using the tool of DotMoney. The GCR uses DotMoney as the primary record of exchange, whose value is sustained and defended by the GCR within specific rates of exchange. The goals of the GCR and its use of DotMoney are beneficial and help to create global economic and monetary stability for all countries of the world. Now, by buying and selling DotMoney and making a market for DotMoney at fixed rates of exchange with other GCR-eligible currencies, the GCR will also indirectly help make and maintain a market in each of the currencies of the countries that allow DotMoney to be traded or used by the citizens of their countries. Now, these predetermined ranges of exchange rates between DotMoney and GCR-eligible currencies will remain fixed and may only be adjusted by the GCR on a case-by-case basis, only if completely necessary or only if some extraordinary need arises. As an example, it is the intention of the GCR to fix the rate of 1 dot to within specified percentage to $1 as it is value based on the buying power of the US dollar as of December 1st of 2014. The rates of exchange of other GCR-eligible currencies will either be based on the prevailing rates as of December 1st of 2014 or adjusted after research and negotiations between the GCR and each country that allows the use of DotMoney, GCR-eligible countries and currencies. The exact rates of exchange and the upper and lower boundaries between DotMoney and GCR-eligible currencies will be announced and updated as needed upon the official launch of DotMoney.
Today, the very value of money itself is being threatened. Unpredictable volatility in the unbounded free-floating currencies exchange rates are literally devastating the global economy and lives of ordinary people in countries like Greece in 2008, and now in large countries like Russia in 2014. No one in any country is immune to this problem, and many major currency brokers all over the world are already collapsing. Money invested into risky products like gold, stocks, bonds, or CDs is money that you can't spend. Go to www.dotmoney.cash right away and buy the book Dot Money and join the Dot Money movement, where ordinary people from all over the world are joining forces to create their own economic bailout, saving their governments, banks, and businesses and everyone else in the world. That's www.dotmoney.cash. Join the Dot Money movement today. Also available at Amazon and major bookstores.
What is the difference between dot money and other money? Dot money is the next logical evolutionary step in the history of human economics. Dot money has many more features than ordinary currencies and commodities. Dot money borrows the successful technology and lessons learned from the history of the first bankers of recorded time to modern-day governments, their national or reserve banks, and modern-day virtual and community currencies. Now, more information about the history of money and dot money can be found in the book Dot Money at www.dotmoneybook.com. Now, technically speaking, dot money is not money at all, even though it has many of the same features and uses as money and virtual currencies. At its core, dot money is an advanced record of exchange for value that can be bought and sold around the world. The value of dot money is established by agreement of its users, subscribers, and as such, the value of dot money is not subjected to the same risks of devaluation as the rest of the global currencies. Therefore, dot money preserves its value for those who use it, regardless of any economic conditions around the globe. Unlike all other existing currencies, the users of dot money agree to exchange it only within specific price ranges with respect to other global currencies. In addition, unlike existing popular virtual currencies such as Bitcoin, dot money has an administrative body that not only helps to preserve the value of dot money, but will also be able to reduce crime and fraud associated with the use of dot money. In addition, dot money plans to eventually implement a human-based backup network of ordinary people, called dot masters, that will be hired and paid by the GCR to enable dot money to be used even in the most remote locations, with or without computers or any other modern technology or electricity. Thus, if modern internet, electrical, or software systems are ever compromised, dot money will continue to persist and retain its usefulness, value, and systematic integrity. Now, in the short term, dot money provides a place where people can truly record, store, and retain the value of their money over time that is unlike any other existing methods of capital preservation that are currently promoted. Although there are major and profitable incentives for banks around the world to work with dot money does not need to be stored in any financial institution, and thus users of dot money need not worry about the integrity of any financial institution to hold their dot money. Dot money also employs technology that allows a person to use dot money to purchase items wherever dot money is accepted without the need for credit card or a computer, phone, or any other form of printed money. Now, in this way, dot money is more secure than carrying money. What is the difference between dot money and Bitcoin? Although dot money and Bitcoin can be received, stored, and spent in a similar fashion, there are many substantial differences between dot money and Bitcoin, since dot money was designed for entirely different purposes. Now, some of the fundamental differences between Bitcoin and dot money are as follows. 1. Central administration. Bitcoins do not have a central administrator, whereas dot money has an international central administrator called the Global Currency Reserve. 2. Creation and acquisition. In order to obtain newly created Bitcoins, an increasingly expensive and elaborate electronic mining effort must be undertaken that can be as costly and unpredictable as mining for gold. The creation of a new dot, which is the unit of dot money, is under the exclusive control of the Global Currency Reserve, GCR, which makes the primary market in GCR eligible global currencies, including dot money. So rather than mining for dot money, people can simply buy and sell dot money from any participating dot money exchange, including banks, retail stores, and online exchanges, or directly from the Global Currency Reserve itself. 3. Rates of exchange. The Bitcoin virtual currency exists as any other commodity whose rate of exchange fluctuates from day to day. Thus, the value of money used to purchase Bitcoins is subjected to the fluctuations in the value of Bitcoin in the global currency markets. Now, one of the purposes of DotMoney is to provide a safe haven from rapid devaluations of global currencies for users of DotMoney. Thus, rates of exchange of DotMoney is intentionally fixed by the Global Currency Reserve, GCR, who makes a market in DotMoney in order to help sustain the value of DotMoney and, in so doing, indirectly makes a market which defends the value of all major of the currencies of the world that are eligible for trading with the Global Currency Reserve. 4. Talkback capability. Users of DotMoney are able to cast their opinions to the Global Currency Reserve, GCR, in all matters concerning the evolution and regulation of DotMoney through a real-time voting process that is facilitated through the possession of DotMoney. 5. Use with or without the Internet. Presently, use of Bitcoins without Internet or computer access can be a difficult proposition and almost impossible at ordinary points of sale, such as supermarkets. DotMoney comes with a technology that enables users to spend money at any location without the need to carry any paper money, plastic cards, cell phones, or have Internet access. Now, in this way, using DotMoney is safer than any other forms of money and includes multiple layers of protection to protect against financial fraud and theft. 6. Biological record and backup methods. Bitcoins and their associated records of ownership and transactions exist in software that resides online on a distributed network of computers around the world. DotMoney records exist in the form of electronic distributed network records. However, DotMoney is also working to institute a unique and powerful capability where DotMoney records will also be stored manually by human beings in duplicate sets of physical records that are independent of electronic, Internet, or communications technology. DotMoney is being designed with a dual complement of human dot masters so that DotMoney can be used with or without computers, cell phones, or any Internet technology, even in the most remote regions of the world. Now, using this new system of human dot masters, DotMoney will be secure from electronic and Internet technology failures, hackers, and less susceptible to fraud. 7. Time-released versions create an opportunity to make money by becoming a liquidity provider. DotMoney has a feature known as time release that does not exist in Bitcoin. DotMoney can be issued by the Global Currency Reserve, GCR, encoded so that the recipient of the DotMoney cannot spend the DotMoney until a specified date. Time release capabilities allow people to become liquidity providers and gain a profit for purchasing and holding DotMoney for a specified period of time. 8. User-defined time release and conditional release. Users who spend DotMoney may also program their own time releases into the DotMoney that they exchange. Now, when a mutual agreement exists between the remitter and recipient, then, upon acceptance of the time-released DotMoney by the recipient can only spend the DotMoney after a specified date or after a specified condition exists, such as escrow, buyer protection. 9. Works with law enforcement. Well, unfortunately, Bitcoin has gained a reputation as a tool that can enable anonymous exchanges of money that are difficult to trace and can be abused by criminals. Now, while transactions in DotMoney are performed in a similar manner as Bitcoins, there is no central administrator for the creation of Bitcoins like there is for DotMoney. As a result, there are other ways that the Global Currency Reserve, GCR, and DotMoney can assist law enforcement around the world to help apprehend criminals. The Global Currency Reserve, GCR, and DotMoney are created to help governments, as well as individuals, and as such, the GCR will work with governments and their respective law enforcement to help fight fraud and crime whenever possible. 10. DotMoney business model, incentives and taxation. One of the initial and additional planned incentives that are designed to encourage people to use DotMoney include DotMoney paying the sales taxes of certain transactions that are conducted in DotMoney. Another major incentive to use and transact in DotMoney will be the offering for Peaceful subscribers to receive a monthly living stipend to help provide a minimum amount of money to each person to pay for food, rent, medical, education, transportation, and communication.
Inside every human being, there's an inspiration. And there is hope for the future. Inside of every one of us, there is a dream that will not die, no matter how uncertain the world. What if there was enough for everyone? What if we didn't have to take anything from anyone or tax anyone, and there was still enough? What if there was something you could do to bail out the government? What if you could do something to end poverty? In an uncertain time, there is certainty. In a time when values are questioned, there is value. Enough money for everyone is on its way. DotMoney. Register today and get the book at www.dotmoney.cash. That's www.dotmoney.cash. Also available at Amazon and major bookstores.
Making money with DotMoney by being a liquidity provider. Anyone can work with the Global Currency Reserve, GCR, after the launch of DotMoney by becoming a liquidity provider for the GCR. Liquidity providers purchase time-released or time-coded DotMoney that can only be spent at some time after purchase from the GCR. Time-coded DotMoney is sold at discounted rates that are established by the GCR, and depending on the length of the time that the purchaser agrees to hold the DotMoney, there will be a time code within the dots that will allow for spending by the owner at a future date. By purchasing and holding time-coded DotMoney, liquidity providers help the GCR to make a market in DotMoney and sustain the value of DotMoney and all GCR-eligible currencies around the world. Anyone or any organization can be a liquidity provider for DotMoney and the GCR, and liquidity providers help to stabilize the entire global economy and fulfill the beneficial goals of the DotMoney project. Liquidity providers help provide the Global Currency Reserve, GCR, with additional capital to make and sustain a market in DotMoney and the rest of the GCR-eligible currencies around the world. Because the transaction of the purchase of time-released DotMoney is complete at the point of sale, the purchaser becomes the owner of record to the time-released DotMoney, and there's no need for any financial institution to hold any money or keep track of the DotMoney on behalf of the purchaser. Thus, buying time-released DotMoney provides the purchaser with protection from the default or collapse of any financial institution. Currently, DotMoney and the Global Currency Reserve, GCR, are not yet selling DotMoney or time-coded DotMoney. All forms of DotMoney will only be available to be purchased using GCR-eligible currencies after the launch date of DotMoney. The tentative launch date of DotMoney can be found on the DotMoney website, www.dotmoney.cash. The only way to get in on the ground floor from the launch of the DotMoney is to participate as a crowdfunder for the GCR and the DotMoney project. Now, for more information on how to become a crowdfunder of DotMoney and show your support for DotMoney, go to www.dotmoney.cash. Why do governments support DotMoney? DotMoney is not a threat to the global business of free-floating currency trading and speculation. The Global Currency Reserve, GCR, uses DotMoney as a tool to help make a market in the GCR-eligible currencies of the world, which includes most major currencies, to help sustain the value of these currencies for the benefit of all people. The GCR uses DotMoney to provide liquidity and a hedging facility to governments, banks, financial institutions, and individuals. Now, in addition, it is one of the goals of the GCR to pay the sales taxes of business transactions that are conducted in DotMoney. Finally, it is the express purpose of the GCR to use DotMoney as means to pay every peace-loving person in the world a minimum monthly stipend to ensure a minimum standard of living and to pay any taxes associated with this living stipend if necessary. Thus, the GCR will help reduce and in some cases eliminate the heavy expenses incurred by governments in order to provide general welfare services. Why do banks support DotMoney? DotMoney is not a threat to banks, but a facility for banks to help retain as much of their native currency on deposit as they can at all times, in order to profit from the lending of that currency. DotMoney is not intended to replace the currencies of sovereign countries, but to help maximize the value of these currencies. In addition, the GCR does not engage in debt-based creation or lending of funds from which banks derive their primary profits. Thus, DotMoney does not compete with banks. In every instance where DotMoney is being used, there will be need to be an equal amount of GCR-eligible currencies on deposit in one or more banks in every country where DotMoney is in use. As such, DotMoney is not the enemy of the banks, and DotMoney seeks to have as many banks as possible as partners where people can walk into any local bank to buy or sell DotMoney, using the funds in the bank accounts that are held at the bank for the benefit of the GCR. The relationship between the GCR and any retail or commercial bank is incredibly simple. Banks become partners with the GCR by simply allowing GCR to hold accounts at the bank in order to accept money from people who want to purchase DotMoney and to enable the GCR to purchase DotMoney for their own account from ordinary people. Acceptance of credit cards or use of complex merchant accounts is not necessary in order for the bank to do business with GCR and DotMoney. In addition, banks that are able to provide GCR with a simple online banking API, as used by many commercial accounting packages, will not be bothered by any of the overheads associated with the management of the account, as the GCR will be able to remotely monitor and transact from the accounts. There are substantial profits to be gained and no downsides or substantial risk for banks who allow the GCR to conduct business in accounts at their bank. Banks stand to gain immediate profit from lending to GCR because GCR simply keeps its money in the bank and only purchases DotMoney from funds drawn from a credit line that is provided by the bank and secured against the cash deposits in the account of GCR in the native currency. Now, in other words, GCR simply parks money in its account at the participating bank in the native currency of the local bank and then only withdraws money by drawing down on a credit line that is provided by the bank that is secured by the funds on deposit in GCR's account. In this way, GCR pays interest to the bank for keeping money on deposit that is spent by GCR in repurchasing DotMoney. GCR only buys DotMoney using credit lines from its partner banks in order to ensure that GCR keeps as much capital in reserve as possible at all times in order to mitigate a run on any particular currency. It costs less money for GCR to pay interest on money that it uses to buy DotMoney than it would if GCR were to buy back DotMoney in any other currency. In this way, GCR utilizes the debt-based and lending businesses of their partner banks around the world and allows those banks to make money doing what they do best, lending. And again, transaction costs are virtually eliminated for the banks in dealing with GCR because GCR monitors their own bank accounts, deposits, and issues expenditures through the bank software API.
The very value of our money itself is being threatened. Unpredictable volatility and the unbounded free-floating currency exchange rates are literally devastating the lives of ordinary people in countries like Greece in 2008, and now in large countries like Russia in 2014. No one in any country is immune to this problem, and many major currency brokers all over the world are already collapsing. Money invested into risky products like gold, stocks, bonds, or CDs is money that you can't spend. And even if you can get your money out of gold or financial institutions while governments, banks, and brokerages are collapsing, what good is money that has no value? Go to www.DotMoney.cash right away and buy the book Dot Money and join the Dot Money movement, where ordinary people from all over the world are joining forces to create their own economic bailout, saving their governments, banks, and businesses and everyone else in the world. That's www.DotMoney.cash. Join the Dot Money movement. Also available at Amazon and major bookstores.
Why would businesses and service providers accept Dot Money? Only businesses and service providers that are not in favor of helping to solve the problems of global economic prosperity of the world and all of the individuals in it would be opposed to accepting Dot Money for payments. In order to reduce the risks associated with any organization who wants to accept Dot Money as payment, the GCR is finalizing the creation of a payment system and gateway access that will allow vendors who accept payment in Dot Money, where all or any portion of the payment is instantly converted into the vendor's native currency, as the condition to complete the sales transaction. Now, while the GCR will always encourage businesses to transact and retain their payments in Dot Money as far as possible, GCR understands that the current economic conditions and risks require that in order for some vendors to accept Dot Money as payment, the GCR must allow for the payment to be made with immediate effect in the native currencies of the vendors that are accepting Dot Money as payment. In order to incentivize vendors around the world to accept payments using Dot Money, retain their payments in Dot Money, and pay their own expenses in Dot Money, it is the intention of GCR to eventually pay the sales taxes associated with certain transactions conducted in Dot Money. Now, these sales taxes will be paid directly to the government authorities in their respective countries who are responsible for collecting these taxes, and they will be paid in either Dot Money or in the native currency of the tax authorities at their discretion. Vendors and businesses are further incentivized to accept, use, and transact in Dot Money because by doing so and supporting the goals of Dot Money, they will inevitably lower their own cost of doing business. Now, this is particularly true not just because of the goals of GCR to pay the sales taxes for Dot Money transactions, but also because of the goal of providing a minimum monthly living allowance to all peace-loving people in the world. Any business owners who support the goals of GCR will ultimately lower their own costs associated with acquiring and retaining high-quality human resources. If employees are already being paid some money by the GCR, then they can be happy working for lower or even minimum wages in other jobs because they will be adding to their already existing income by taking a job. In addition, because people will not need to take jobs out of necessity, but of their own free will, they'll be more likely to provide a higher quality of service while conducting their jobs, as they will not be so worried about money and making ends meet. People will be free to choose what jobs they really want instead of being forced to take jobs that they don't like just to survive. Banks, financial institutions, businesses, and individuals who work with currencies or speculate in currencies will be able to use Dot Money as a tool to create a hedge for their trading against the devaluation of any GCR-eligible currency, which consists of most major currencies.
I would help everyone in the world.
Join with people all over the world who are helping to bail out their governments, banks, and business, and save the value of the money that they have worked so hard to earn.
If we all work together, we can make it happen.
DotMoney. Register and get the book today at www.dotmoney.cash. Also available at Amazon and other bookstores.